What are we doing here?
Just doing a little something. Taking a sawzall and chop saw and whatnot. Washy, doey. I was trying to get your fucking checkbook in your hand.
Here we go again.
Round two.
Round two. Thank you, Walt.
Okay. First wash of round number 2. But the only problem is all the soap's on the ground. October 24th. All the soap.
The whole thing, the whole bucket.
Yep. Thing's pretty clean. Probably the last time we'll see it like this. Stock wheels, stock tires, stock tints, stock mirrors, stock emblems. I'm going to send this to you in a year and let's see how much this thing has changed. You can't probably see inside. No, it's empty. Believe me, it's empty.
What's going on here?
What?
What's going on here?
Shenanigans. In less than 2 hours. Get a little step stool?
Maybe.
My wife's gonna know what we're doing. Let's talk more doey.
I was putting Darian's watch in my truck so I can try and ship it tonight when I get back in or whatever. So I grabbed the keys and I was like, well, we'll see if it starts, and it started. All right, so a little late night operation on the Blazer. This is actually it just fell off. This is actually the ignition coil. Had a little bit of a rough idle, and then I let it run for like an hour and a half while I was cleaning it, and it ended up being a crank no start. So got a new ignition coil. This piece actually though, it had some rivets through here. You can see right there. Had to drill them out. So get the new one in. Hopefully that fixes our issue. So it's running and driving fine. It's not warmed up all the way, which is where I'm expecting my issue. Still has a hesitation at idle. So I did the ignition coil, but the ICM, the ignition control module, is right next to it. I'm wondering if I should just go ahead and replace that too, because I guess it has pretty much the same symptoms as an ignition coil. So perhaps I should just change that too. And then a little bit of hesitation when within it. I don't know, ICM or fuel pump, I'm guessing. All right, here we are. Still trying to figure out this misfire. There's the ignition coil that we did. Another common problem is these distributor caps and rotor, cap and rotor. sometimes have a malfunction. So I'm gonna pull it off. You can see there that I've already marked the wires. I left these ones on here. I'm gonna finish pulling that cap off when I get out here. I'll end up pulling those off. And then we're gonna inspect it, take a multimeter to it, check it out. Have one on the way, so I figured I'd just go ahead and pull it off anyways, but it'd be interesting to see what it looks like underneath. All right, so look at that. Get all that moisture in there. And then, I don't know how well you can see, but see all that buildup on those? I'm glad I ordered one. Oh, look at that tire issue. Look at that. Just a bunch of fucking crap in there. Let's get it out. All right, so I just got done putting the cap and rotor on. As you've seen, the cap was pretty corroded. And these things are pretty common, or notorious rather, for getting moisture under the cap and causing that type of corrosion. So I'd already ordered the cap and rotor for this thing, and I was just pulling it off merely to have less work to do when it came in. And once I seen how corroded it was, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna clean this up really well and throw it back on there and see if I can't get this thing to run with the cap that was already there. And so I threw it back together really quick, and what do you know? It started up, runs perfectly. I have no more crank no start issue. Took it for a quick spin around the block, and look at that. Pretty pumped. Super simple fix. Now we can get back to cleaning it. Got this door cleaned up, that door jamb cleaned up, and have already cleaned up the dash. But as you can see, still need to get to the floors. I kind of stopped right there once I started having these crank no start issues. I was like, well, I'm gonna hold off on cleaning this thing any further until I get this resolved. So got all my stuff there. You can see we got some cleaning up to do. Probably pull these carpets out and do deadening, and take some degreaser and a pressure washer and a scrub brush after it. Get it nice and cleaned up, get it back in here. But look at that. Oh man, so happy about that. Look at that smooth idle, all because of a cap and rotor. Who would have thought?